Ginkgo biloba has held a special place in the world of natural medicine for decades, praised, marketed, and consumed as a botanical brain booster with supposed powers to sharpen memory and slow cognitive aging. It's derived from one of the oldest tree species on Earth, and the idea that something so ancient might protect the modern brain has definite appeal. But what does the science actually say? The latest clinical trials offer a more grounded and nuanced picture of ginkgo's role in cognitive health, especially when it comes to mild cognitive impairment, MCI, and age-related memory loss. Let's start with what ginkgo is supposed to do. Extracts of the ginkgo biloba leaf, particularly standardized ones like EGB 761, are rich in flavonoids and terpenoids, which have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. The theory goes that ginkgo enhances cerebral blood flow, protects neurons from oxidative damage, and modulates neurotransmitters like acetylcholine and dopamine. These effects, in turn, could improve memory, attention, and overall brain function, especially in aging adults whose vascular and metabolic systems aren't quite as spry as they used to be. The promise sounds good. But when tested in rigorous clinical trials, ginkgo's effects have been mixed. Some studies do show modest benefits, particularly in people with MCI or very early signs of dementia. For example, a number of European trials using EGB 761 have reported improvements in attention, memory recall, and daily functioning compared to placebo, especially in older adults with subjective memory complaints. These effects, while not dramatic, are statistically significant and seem to persist with long-term use, typically at doses around 120 to 240 milligrams per day. In these cases, ginkgo seems to act less like a cognitive enhancer and more like a stabilizer, slowing the progression of memory loss rather than dramatically boosting performance. But the larger, more definitive studies have not been so kind. The well-known Ginkgo Evaluation of Memory (GEM) study, which followed over 3,000 older adults in the US for several years, found no significant difference in rates of dementia or cognitive decline between those taking ginkgo biloba and those on placebo. Even in subgroups with mild cognitive impairment at baseline, the herb didn't seem to make a meaningful difference in the long run. The results were disappointing but important, showing that ginkgo is not the silver bullet many hoped it would be. So, what explains the discrepancy? Part of the issue is variability in study design. Not all ginkgo extracts are created equal. Some are standardized and carefully dosed, while others vary wildly in potency. Duration also matters. Ginkgo may need to be taken consistently for months or even years to show any real benefit, and short-term studies may simply not capture its full potential. Individual differences such as baseline vascular health, genetics, or concurrent medications could also influence how well someone responds to the supplement. Then there's the placebo effect. Many people report feeling mentally sharper when taking ginkgo, and that subjective sense of benefit shouldn't be dismissed entirely. After all, if someone feels more alert, focused, or motivated while on ginkgo, even without dramatic cognitive test improvements, that's still a meaningful outcome, especially in the context of healthy aging. So, where does that leave us? In truth, ginkgo biloba is probably not a miracle cure for memory loss, but it isn't snake oil either. The latest evidence suggests it may have mild, targeted benefits for certain individuals, particularly those in the early stages of cognitive decline or with vascular-related memory problems. It's not a substitute for evidence-based treatments, but it may be a complementary option, especially when used consistently and at clinically tested doses. And importantly, ginkgo is generally safe for most people, though it can interact with blood thinners and other medications, so it's not entirely risk-free. In the end, ginkgo biloba is a botanical with history, complexity, and modest potential, not the brain's best friend, perhaps, but a gentle companion on the long road of aging. Just don't expect it to remember your keys for you.